A highway project more than 6 decades in the making begins today for several towns just south of Green Bay.
The South Bridge Connector project set to begin years of construction through De Pere, Lawrence, and Ledgeview with the goal of creating a major interchange to support community growth. In a First Alert update now, Drew Best joins us live in De Pere with how community members are reacting today. Drew.
Bill and Cami, we are right along South Bridge Road. This is a project that the community here has been hearing about for a very long time, and as of today, construction west of the Fox River finally begins. Leaders are kicking off the next step in the process with a groundbreaking ceremony at the west side of the project on the corner of Packerland Drive and Schuring Road. Brown County Executive Troy Streckenbach says building interchanges like this are vital for growing communities, and it has taken a lot of cooperation to get to this point. The preparations for this next phase have forced the closure of Lawrence Drive and South Bridge Road, which people in surrounding neighborhoods say have led to many detours, not only for them, but for other drivers.
We're seeing definitely increased traffic, even just our road here, since there's no through to American on the other side there. So yeah, definitely a lot of people coming around here and stopping and asking questions of how they get onto the other side of the construction.
I just spoke with another neighbor who would not go on camera. She says while the neighbors are going to feel the effects now, it will all be worth it when the project is complete. And officials anticipate that could be as early as fall of 2029. Reporting live in De Pere, Drew Best, Action 2 News.